Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. This is my second video, and today I would like to talk a little bit about the products and the mediums that I use. I'm unable to record tutorials just yet because I haven't got the area that I would like to work in set up in the way that I need it to. So at the moment, I'm just going to show you a few bits, and then that will be able to prepare you guys if you want to follow on to. If you want to follow on any of my tutorials and anything like that, then this will kind of get you guys set up for that. So the main thing that I wanted to talk about are the tools and the products that I use when it comes to working with polymer clay. I'm probably going to make a two-part video as well because there's a bit to cover, and I've done one kind of run through and it took like 20 minutes, so I just don't stop talking. So polymer clay is a sort of, it's PVC basically, and then you pop it in the oven and it hardens. I mean, it's not PVC, it's based on PVC. It doesn't have any actual clay minerals in it, but you can, it works in a sort of similar way, and obviously you have to apply heat in order to make it harden. You should always follow the instructions on the manufacturing label. So this one says max 130 degrees C, which is fair enough, 15 to 30 minutes. 15 to 30 minutes, that means per, I think it's half an inch, it's a quarter of an inch for 15 minutes and half an inch for 30. So depends on the thickness of your piece and how big it is. You will need to ramp that up a little bit as your pieces get bigger. So if you're working on a massive dragon, then obviously you kind of need to adjust your time, but once as you get used to using it, you'll be able to gauge it, and if you don't bake it over 130 and you make sure that it's covered where possible as well, that will reduce the risk of any burning, that any scorching that might happen. It's really important to remember that as well, because if you actually burn the clay, that's what a lot of people think, that PVC, sorry, not PVC, got PVC on the brain, polymer clay is toxic. It actually isn't, but if you burn it, then it actually produces, I think it's hydrogen chloride or something. I might be talking rubbish in, actually, then bear with me to Google. 1 second, sorry. Yeah, hydrogen chloride gas. Not in enough amounts to be really, really dangerous, but certainly enough to irritate your eyes and your nose, and long term that could also cause a problem if you keep doing that. So please just follow the instructions. That's the most important thing I want to tell you about it. Other than that, it's perfectly safe. Please do not, also, you can't use it for food use as well, so it's not advisable to decorate cups or anything. Glasses are okay as long as it's not touching your mouth or the inside of the glass or anything like that. A lot of people do decorate glasses with it, so just as long as it's not coming in contact with food. And also, if you are using any silicone molds, which I'll talk about in the next video, please don't use them for both food and clay. So don't ingest it, don't burn it, basically. Okay, so clay brands. I originally started because there was some female lying around the house, and to be honest, I didn't really get on with it. Polymer clay's been around for years. I think it was originally Bakelite or something like that first, and then they developed a better version of it called Fimo. But I'm just not, it's the most readily available brand, but I'm just not into it. I find it way too sticky, and that when you're trying to do fine work, then it tends to pull and attach to your fingers. And I mean, there are ways around that. You can use powders, a bit like when you use flour for kneading dough. You can use talcum powder, or I think some people use cornstarch, but it didn't really suit me. So firstly I tried out Primo by Sculpey, which is pretty good. I just found that it took a long time to condition. You have to condition the clay when you use it in order to make it malleable enough to work with. If you don't condition it enough, it can crack before and after baking. It's pretty useless then. So yeah, please remember that. I also tried Primo Accents, which is kind of another version of it, and I don't have one up here to show you, but it tends to be pearlescent, so it's kind of shimmering. Again, it's really crumbly. there are products that you can add to the clay to help you condition it as well, but I tend to use other methods to make my clay shiny, which I'll talk about in the next video. Then I moved on to this one, which I actually really liked for a while. It's called Souffle, and then I found out that actually it can be quite brittle, and I was noticing that some of my pieces were breaking, just not in a major way, just little bits flaking off, but it's not ideal. So I'm going to phase this out when I find a suitable alternative, but it's really easy to condition, so that's good. If you say, if you, I don't know, if you've got an issue, say if your hands get a bit sore or something, you know, you've got maybe a touch of arthritis or something, I don't know. But then this one so far, Scorpio 3, I've had no issues with. So far so good. Nice and easy to condition, comes in some really nice colours, and yeah, so far I haven't broken anything, so fingers crossed. That should be cool. That's it that I've tried so far, but there are some other brands that you can try. Don't write off Fimo, try it and see how you feel. You can also get Fimo Professional, which I believe a lot of doll makers use, so that could be something that if you guys wanted to try, then fair enough, let me know how you get on. There's also a couple of brands that I want to try. Cernit, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's C-E-R-N-I-T. And then there's also Pardo, and Pardo is quite well known for being the most translucent. You can get some nice translucent clays, and the light comes through it a little bit, and it's really nice for creating things like fins on a fish or a mermaid or something, or the edges of a flower. You can blend it in with other colours as well, so that you get you know, it's kind of like shading paints, mixing paints and so forth. You get some nice nice translucent colours there. So Pardo apparently is the best for that, so I'm looking forward to trying it. The final thing that I wanted to mention about polymer clay was this. It's liquid clay. This one's Fimo, but I'm sure there are other ones available. It's just that this is the one that's readily available for me. I find that in the UK there are different things available. In my experience, it could be wrong, but in my experience, polymer clay isn't as widely used in the UK as in the US. There are some really good resources that you can try and try out in the UK. There's a lady called Birdie Hayward who's fantastic, and she has a Facebook group which I'm in, and then there's also a lady called, I think her name is Ginger, and she has the Blue Bottle Tree webpage, and she does a lot of research. So if you ever have a question or anything like that and I can't answer it, then, which chances are I may or may not be able to, and she's also a really good person to go to as well. Anyway, so Fimo liquid clay is really handy for many things. You can bake it, obviously it doesn't harden until it's baked, and you can sort of create, I've made a little pair of wings out of it actually in the see-through. You know, you can use it for that kind of work. You can sort of like a lens in a piece that's meant to be glass, for example. I'm trying to think of an example that I could tell you, like a kind of like a porthole in a little door or something. You can make a kind of domed effect if you sit it in. So it's quite nice for that, and also it's quite good for binding two pieces of clay together. You can bake polymer clay in stages, provided that you don't overcook it. And this is really good because you don't damage the base layer of clay that you've made, and you can actually use this then between layers in order to adhere them together. And if you're putting, if you're making any charms or jewellery or anything, then you can actually put a drop in the hole, and that actually will hold the metal piece in place a lot better. So it's really useful to have. I fully recommend it. Can cost between about £6 to £9 on eBay. So yeah, definitely try that one. In terms of the actual clay, that's pretty much it. I'm sure there's other things, and I'm sure there'll be more questions, and feel free to ask them. But yeah, that's everything. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I didn't rabbit on too long. Please stay tuned, because there will be another video where I talk about the tools that you'll need, and yeah, some various other stuff. So thank you for watching, and I will speak to you soon.